Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Dr. Ab, and we're doing this room today on Sunday, um, as usual. Um, I'm continuing the series on our practical spirituality. I have come up with an idea this morning, which I want to share with everybody. I will share it a few times today as the people come and join us. I was really wanting to put this in everybody's hands. So I'm going to make a app on this proactive wellness. Um, it is not just for the individual, but also society as a whole. That means health institutions, health systems, and also for the planet. How we kind of improve our health by reducing our consumption, that is being a prudent customer. Not that you have to sacrifice everything, but just to use prudence about what we use, how we generate uh, um, more like a waste, and thereby not only our planet is healthy, and our food is healthy, our water is healthy, and that way it contributes to all of that, right? So that's the idea. So I kind of contacted some people about app developers, and I'm going to have a conversation with them tomorrow and see what we can do. We don't have to have an expensive, but it has to be simple. My argument is this. See, as I'm talking about practical spirituality, it has to be not an understanding, but it has to reflect in our daily lives, right? That is what I mean by practical, right? So if I am really doing the AI, I'm doing it because it is saving me a lot of time, and that time I'm using for spiritual self-inquiry, meditation, teaching, and practicing some things and all that, right? So the time I don't have before is now made possible because of the AI. So how can I bring that principle where people using technology, but not married to it, but using it as a tool so that we have time to spend with our spiritual practices, whatever they may be. It could be yours, right? So that's the essential principle. I thought an app would really help somebody to get into this kind of habits. For example, I say, okay, take a walking 10-15 minutes, but those walking 10-15 minutes make it meditative. Then you could have a program there, maybe a commentary by me as to how you walk, how you make your awareness with your feet one at a time, how you focus on your breath, and how you focus on the sights and signs and everything that you listen, whereby your awareness of things are better, that kind of thing. So that would be very practical, something right there, and then you can use a phone, but at the same time you can use it for a purpose that's much more conducive for your spiritual practice too. So that's how my whole concept has developed. So I sat down and wrote down everything that came to my mind, and that came out pretty exhaustive. And I was up in the morning around 4 o'clock, and I kept on working till 7, only on that topic. And I was very pleased with what came out of it. Probably it has to be worked on, it has to be refined a lot. Obviously, we will do that. But the generation of the idea, which is going to include my informatics, my philosophical principles, all those will be there, and also medical informatics and philosophical principle will be there in developing and shaping that app, which is going to be helping people to be proactively well. So that's the idea. I'm kind of, I just wanted to share with everybody, whoever listens to this, they can appreciate what I'm trying to do. So That's going to be a major occupation for me for the next few months or years, whichever much time it takes to develop certain thing. And it could be something like my leaving a gift, so that would be good. Okay. So, what is this proactive wellness? I have talked about this several times. It's not just eating healthy and doing the healthy stuff. That's all given, right? Everybody strives towards that. If you are not there, you can start there. That's fine. But then another thing is, uh, how can you know the status of your health now? How is your blood sugar? How is your cholesterol? How is your um, retina if you are a diabetic? Like that. Okay, what is the status of your health? Not only outwardly but also biologically, metabolically, right? Once you understand that by taking your past history, your family history, your genetic history, all those things will show you where you are. So it's not like you are going around saying, okay, I'll be all right. I'm getting short of breath when I go upstairs, but that's just because I'm out of shape. But it may be lurking heart failure there, right? So from the gross to going to the micro level to the biological level and finding out what's happening with our cells. Are there radical elements that are attacking it, or the stress hormones that are doing that? All that you figure it out, and then you have a organ health, cellular health, biological health. All those things we can do now, and we can also examine your genome and predict 10 years later you probably will have this kind of disease, that kind of disease. That kind of awareness of your current health we need to establish first. Then what are the possible interventions, or what are the things that you should avoid not to aggravate that condition? For example, you have a tendency for diabetes in the family, and your diet is the same as them, and you are also getting more sedentary because you are working as a computer scientist or software engineer, whatever, right? Then you need to change your habit of sitting down for long times and maybe make it more like an ambulatory nature. From sedentary, you can become ambulatory, right? And functional fitness, I talk about all the time. That is where you will use your own body weight to do some exercises to get your body exercising well enough, right? So that will be there. So that is proactive wellness, where you take proactive steps to determine where your health is and what kind of intervention you should do, and what kind of preventive or detoxifying measures that you can do. Then you are not only rectified a problem, but also you live in real wellness, where you have the peak energies, and also you have the possibility of having this joy within, so that you are not miserable and working, right? Lots of times people forget about their little pains and all those when they are involved in work. Okay, that's all okay, but it can masquerade your real problems. If your body is indicating to you that something is not right, but if you don't take uh, that warning, serious, and then fix that problems, they can become bigger, right? So that's what you want to do. Okay, uh, so so that's a big announcement about the app, and also um, clarifying what is practical spirituality mean, where you are really proactively protecting your health, and also you will become much more compassionate, much more kind when you are well and doing pain-free whatever you are doing. You can also be joyful. You can also cultivate positive emotions, positive psychology, where by you yourself are having an internal health that is gotten rid of all these stress hormones, these toxins, and all that. Okay, so that is the proactive wellness I always talk about and I always do myself. I can see the results for myself. I can do a lot of work. Even I think 18th I'll be 70 now. I'll be coming into 70, right? So still have a lot of energy and I can do it. And then when I saw these yogis who are that guy who is 106-year-old, I was listening to other day. Uh, they're those kind of people. When you see them, they're so active at 106, and they are having a regular meeting and a regular question and answers and all that. I was really impressed. He was born in 18, I believe. Anderson, welcome. He was 106-year-old, but he's talking like he's 50-year-old. And then he's answering questions, he's engaging in big debates and all that, and telling us life secrets. So this proactive wellness, we don't have to live 106, but even if you live for a few more years, let's live them well. Let's live them with a lot of vigor, a lot of energy, right? So that's what I'm talking about. That's why this uh, you could say concept of proactive wellness is much more than preventive wellness, preventive health, and much it is included. It is more than that. Okay, proactively you are trying to be digging out whatever lurking problems inside and then fixing them, and then so you kind of take charge of your wellness, right? So that's why that app I mentioned is going to help a lot of people, probably help them to save a lot of money paying otherwise to the doctors and hospitals, right? I myself, I did not see a doctor for my health in about 10 years now. So how much money I must have seen, and also I don't take any medications, right? I didn't have to. It's not that I'm against medications. It is just that we don't need them, don't take them. Okay, use them properly. But I didn't have to, so I didn't even take a tile now. So that is really happy for me, right? But how much money I saved by not buying those medications, and I bought those fruits and nuts and all the healthy foods, all spent investment on the computers and AI programs and all that, right? And that using for the good of the other people too. So there is an economic picture about this drugs and our health, because the more medications we take for longer, then see what is happening is, in general, people treat symptoms and then they go on treating symptoms with one several medications, and those medications develop tolerance. That means you have to take more and more, and they have the potential interactions, and they all act against our biology, and then the biology changes, then you cannot withdraw them. On the other hand, if you develop lifestyles where you can cut down the medications reasonably, and then maybe take them off completely if you have the luck, and if you have no problems with the lifestyles. But it requires understanding and discipline. A lot of people don't have it, but if you can practice that, you could lead a very healthy life that is very economical for you. You can use all that money for something else. Uh, my patients, some of them, they have to either buy the medications or buy the food. That's the reality of the Medicare patients. They have worked very hard for so many years, contribute to society, and that's why they are on the Medicaid now. But then because they didn't know these longevity principles, they put their bodies at risk, and then they became really, you know, weak and feeble, and really fall off like a ripe life leaf. But then have they enjoyed last 10, 15 years of life? It's not, because they're staying in nursing homes, no quality of life, and then they just maintain all the medications, right? So what I am saying is, let them have some quality of life. Let them have some vitality. Let them have some entertainment and all that, right? So when I was in the nursing home, the director, right? One of the nursing homes I go with, because my patients are there. Then they wanted to be a director. I was there for a year, and then I introduced at the time the V machines were just came on the market, so I kind of introduced them so that they can stay in the chair and play the table tennis, something like that. And introduce a lot of animals to be brought there, cats shaved off, something like that. And then also we encouraged families to come and spend time with them, and also we encouraged garden growing, and then take the patients to the garden as much as possible. We are in Iowa, so lots of times we cannot because it's so cold. But at least in the summer, and it is really nice, we ask them to go there, right? So that kind of thing. So trying to strive to improve the quality of life as a nursing home patients was something important to me, and I did that too. Uh, See, the whole thing is like a medical thing is separate, and people think we need the doctors and hospitals when we are sick. Otherwise, we don't have any responsibility about health. Majority, it's not like some enlightened, some educated, some people that are really aware of their health. They take care of it. They kind of change their lifestyles, and they call them health nuts. No, they are not health nuts. They are more health aware people, right? So they take care of their health much better. That's what I'm getting at. Why can't everybody do that? Only why few of them? Why that revolution in our maintenance of our health should be coming forth at a much more rapid rate. That's what I'm saying. So by doing that, we will be consuming less goods, and then we will be helping the planet also. This is where my app is going to be called proactive wellness for the person, for the system, and for the planet. For the person, as I said, everybody takes responsibility, more aware, and then do that. For the system, the hospitals, the health systems themselves, they take a wellness oriented approach. That means they spend more time on these preventive services, more, but then they want them to come and pay money and take more medication, right? Both insurance companies and drug companies have to have a profound change in their attitude, right? Then it's not about the money, it's about the health of the people. I don't know whether I will see that change in my lifetime, but I hope, I dream that they will do that. If they don't do it, why can't you, as an individual person, individual patient, take charge of this? Use the knowledge that is there in modern medicine and in ancient wisdom, and employ that to be well for a long time, and also enjoy the joy I talk about all the time. So that's our effort. I'm dedicated to that. I am dedicated to my purposes. As I told you, I have a fourfold purpose. One is encourage this proactive wellness for the individuals. Number two is encourage health system to be wellness oriented from the current illness orientation. And number three is how can we help the planet? Okay, so that it will be better helped so that we have a planet. Okay, it seems less likely we will have because so many things are going. Look at the other day, Norway is digging deep, and that is causing a lot of problems to the earth, right? And fourth is self-realization, because that is the highest goal I consider in a human life. Okay, hi Nazli, welcome. So those fourfold purpose I have, I'm kind of put the first three into that app, and also my personal self-realization practice, which people who are seekers, who are interested in that, it has nothing to do with any particular religious dogma. It's got to do with the spiritual wisdom that we have gained over the centuries from ancients. But if you are not interested, we cannot really impose on you. But if you are interested, we can always take you through the journey where you can see for yourself what you are. So that's the plan. And so as I told you, the app development started today, and we'll see how much time it will take. And then continue to advocate proactive wellness on my website, on my lifestyle, on my wherever I am, I kind of emphasize that, and then we go from there. Okay. So, any comments or any questions or anything that I can answer for people? Hi, Anderson. Welcome. How are you? I can't hear you. Your voice is not clear. Nah, yeah, now good. Now good. I am good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
I've been just listening to you, and it's been an amazing conversation so far. And
yeah,
I just meant to come in and show my support for you, and say I see you.
yeah.
And the question I have for you, you talked about building an app. Is this something that I can find on the App Store and Apple or the
It
Play
will
Store
be.
and
It
Google?
Yeah, it will be eventually because I just thought about it. The scope of it's not like a regular wellness apps we have on the market right now, but involves my own philosophical principles, informatics, and also this medical principles. So it will be an opportunity for people to really release a lot of time for spiritual practices if they want, which I do. And also it will be something proactive wellness so that they can diagnose things lurking inside of them and go and get help. So it's kind of promoting more self responsibility and resources for them to go and explore on their progress. For example, you have some family history of diabetes, right? But you have been eating your grandma's food, so it has not changed. So you have the same risks and all. You could see you are getting obese, or you are getting tired easily, or all those things are warning you, but you don't pay attention because you're occupied with the work, right? That's usually what happens to many people. But some people will be more aware than others, then they will go and get checked out and all that. But this is like not even symptoms are not there, but you want to know, oh, what is my health, um, physically, organ wise, and biologically, molecular level. We can do that as modern medicine now, and we can also tell you what are the supplements you have to take, what are the detoxification you have to go, all those things. That combination of resources will be there, and it should promote simple living, higher thinking, but at the same time give you all this access to the resources where you can, suppose you want to know, okay, what type of body I have. Is it there is a classification according to modern medicine, and there's a classification according to the ancient Ayurveda. So you can determine how you are, right? Then you can go from there. For example, suppose you are ectomorphic or endomorphic or mesomorphic. That's how we divide the body shapes, and I'll tell you how your fat is distributed and all that. Suppose you are ectomorphic, whatever you eat, you kind of burn it down because your metabolism is very high rate. Suppose you are endomorphic, then even if you eat little, you put on the fat. You know, Understanding that, you can really change the diet and activity and massage and stretches to help you not to build, fat and adiposity and all that. But if you take the ancient wisdom, they have got this sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic foods. According to the qualities of the foods, you may be a very hyperactive person. That means you are rajasic. Then you have to slow down. You have to stop your thinking too much and all that. So like that, both ways you will have resources, and that will make use of the modern medicine and also ancient wisdom. How does that sound, Anderson?
It sounds good, but I didn't get the answer to my question. Where
Yeah.
is the app right now? Is it on
No, no,
the
is
App
that just to
Store,
concede?
or is it just something you were thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking I got a plan and everything, and we're going to start doing that. We are interviewing the teams, and once the teams come, they will develop that. I'm just was very enthusiastic about that. That's why I
Got
just
it. Okay.
yeah, uh,
Got it. Okay. That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a question of really putting it all together, my years of experience and my way of living. Suppose you don't have to be talking to me, but still you will have answers from me in that app, right? So I will appear like a virtual, and you can ask me questions, and I will give you whatever answers. My virtual, avatar will tell you everything. That kind is already there, and some people are doing that, but I will do it my way. That's all possible with this AI now. So I can appear like my avatar will come, and then you say, "Hi, Anderson, how are you?" Then say, "You, Anderson, hi," and then you ask me a question. then I will give you that answer to that question, and then I'll give you resources. Then you go and take care of it. Hi, Pauline. So that's how it
Yeah,
should.
there's a ton of apps out there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of apps out there in the market, and
Yeah.
I get that you're doing your way,
Mhm.
but Mike, I'm mostly curious as to who's your target audience for this app,
Oh,
and how are you planning on reaching them?
I don't know. Target is also a specific purpose. Anybody who is concerned about their health and wellness will have this app as a resource for the whatever they are looking for. You know, so it doesn't have to have all the thing, but you can point out in the right direction. For example, you want a detailed analysis of Ayurvedic principle of these qualities I told you about, then you can go and learn about it with a resource. That kind of thing. You know. So all the resources I have, I can keep it there and then direct you, and then you can go on to read and find out yourself. Or if you want a conclusion, you can listen to me and you will get the conclusion. But then the source for that conclusion, the reading, the investigation, the research that was done will be given to you so that you can explore it yourself too. It's not going to be a regular commercial app. It's going to be enlightening app. That's what I don't want to do it for money. I want to do it so that people find it useful, and people, when they use it, improve their health. Those are the goals.
Okay, yeah, keep me posted on it. I've done app development now,
uh,
and I've been in IT now for the last 20 years, and
yeah.
I'm developing my own app as well.
Good,
And
good.
what I found out is there's no shortage of apps on the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah,
Some of them are lacking, but if you're not very specific about who you're targeting, then
yeah.
your messaging just spreads
I know, but I am
really
doing.
wide, and it doesn't really land on the
Yeah,
proper audiences. So I was just mostly curious about it.
I know.
I can't stay for too long. I
Yeah,
have to run to dinner, but
that's
I
okay.
love what you're doing, and if I can come back and support you in any way, I would love to.
That sure. As I'll also take your opinion on this app. But the thing is, I look at this way. I don't do the commercial way anything. Okay, so I kind of do it because I feel this is right. So even if I come and talk to you here, I know some people listen to my recordings later on. So even if I'm alone, I will say what I want to say and go. So I'm not into that kind of commercial monetization and all that. So in that way, I can afford to do it. I will do it. But the intention is just to serve people and help people. But then if you really want success, obviously you have to have uh, see, my target audience right now is physicians and nurses. I spend a lot of time burnout coaching, right? And also IT people with the stress, and also company leaders. I teach them servant leadership. These three things are very active for me. But beyond that, I kind of come on these rooms like this and talk about um, wellness principles so that people will come with their own questions, or if they listen, sometimes I kind of stimulate something, I will answer, then their questions come. So that's going on like that. But I'm glad I come to know that you are an app developer. What company you have?
Yeah,
Do you have a company or something?
I do. I actually founded one myself called Live Unity, and it's about holistic wellness. And I've come across a lot of these
Yeah.
principles, both East and West, because I started studying Ayurveda and some other principles of the doshas and
Yeah.
things like that. And then I've done some yoga and practice some of the breath work and healing that comes with it. And
Yeah.
you talk about spirituality, which actually would draw me to the room. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't tap into spiritual growth as a form of healing.
Yeah.
But those are all what I came to find out was the 8 dimensions of wellness, which
Yeah.
a lot of people have never heard of.
Yeah.
And this is information which is available. The thing about it, Dr. Rao, and you know this, is the medical industry will feed people medication or with information that
Yeah.
medication is what's needed to heal them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of the medication will block their
Yeah.
healing pathways, and the pharmaceutical industry doesn't like that.
I know.
So, how
Oh,
can we bring
actually,
this information to people in a way that they can consume it, but not
yeah.
also um, piss off the pharmaceutical industry. That's been
Yeah.
my biggest struggle.
No, very early in my career, Anderson, when I was very early, maybe 25, 26 years, I was a doctor at 23, right? But even then, I wasn't really sold on using medications all the time because of the yoga awareness, right? Then one of the doctors who I'm working for, he had at that time they could own the pharmacies also. He had a pharmacy in his clinic and all that. I'm kind of taking people off the medication because I'm teaching them relaxation, hypertension medication are cut down. And he was very mad at me. And he came and told me, we cannot do business with you if you are cutting the medications like this. We don't have business to selling them. So you have to stop those things. You know, he doesn't see that he's doing the harm to the patient. Then I quit them because I didn't want to be with somebody like. Then when I had my own practice, my dictum was, how can we work on the roots of illness, not just the process. Process we will start treating them, but then what are the roots? Why they developed this? So all those things mushroomed into a philosophy. But fortunately, I owned my clinic. I built it up myself from scratch, big clinic, and I was able to spend as much time as I want. And uh, that really helped my patients and me too. And I can made a living cutting down on the medications safely with many patients. You know, patients also loved it. Once they understand what is involved, they were able to do that. They were happy that they don't have to take that medication, but at the same time be healthy. Now I'm taking it a much larger scale, and I think people need it also. If they are aware of what's going on with them, a lot of people are willing to do the work that is needed. So we shouldn't be belittling their intelligence. Once they know what's going on, they really act. But people take a little time to understand, which I'm willing to do. So I got a lot of response. Yeah. I'll be happy to tap into you about the app development, and as it shapes, I'm going to keep on announcing. Whatever I do, I usually announce here. You know, I have a wellness club in the morning, and I have consultations, wellness consultations. I have ebooks that are ready to be published, and also I have this burnout coaching, which is the most time I spend because doctors and nurses are burning out because of this system. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, if you would like, and I
yeah,
just did a couple of things right now. I just connected with you on LinkedIn because that's
yeah,
my primary network
yeah.
for social networking. So I just sent you a connection request, and
Very
if
good.
you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, that would be amazing. Secondly, I believe you know my friend Georgette, who's a registered nurse on this platform,
Uh huh.
and her and I every 2 weeks we do a like a video session, a live session on LinkedIn called the Empowered Wellness Series, where we just get to share our knowledge,
Very good.
mostly
Very.
with the corporate wellness
Yeah.
audience or with the corporate audience.
Yeah.
So if it's something you're interested in,
Yeah.
what I can do is use that channel to
Yeah.
interview you and share some of the knowledge that you've got with some people who've never heard of you and never
Yeah.
heard of some of the knowledge that you're sharing on this platform.
Sure.
Plus,
Sure. I
I
understand
love
because
Clubhouse, but it's two of us here, and
yeah.
I think
No.
there's a lot of people who would benefit from this
Now I
conversation.
open other channels too. Right now I'm live on the LinkedIn, Facebook, and also YouTube, and also Wisdom app, and here. So altogether there will be people listening. Clubhouse sometimes there will be a few people, sometimes not. I don't advertise. I just come every day, and it's more like a relaxation for me when I come here and talk about these things. You know, even one or two people come, I am happy to talk to them, and that's okay. See, I don't do it for commercial things. That's I mean, but I'm happy to come to your place, and we will share whatever we know, and I'll be happy to meet new people. Yeah, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, I don't think about it as much as commercial, as
Yeah,
much as it's about impact, right? You want to
yeah,
get to the people who are sick,
I agree.
and you and I are in here. So
Yeah.
how can we increase the impact of your
Oh yeah.
work? That's essentially where I'm looking at.
Yeah. See, the thing is, many people told me over the couple of years I'm here on Clubhouse that their lives have changed, and they come to the wellness club and they join, and then for individual problems they call me, consult me. So I do have activity here, but then much bigger than what I should be getting here. I know I can impact a lot of people with sharing this knowledge, and then if they just listen is not going to help. They got to implement it. They got to really make sure that they have those changes got there. So that's where the slowness. See, all these people are instant gratification. Everything has to be done right now. It doesn't happen like that, you know. So many people come and tell me, but then they all sit on the, for example, Wisdom app. They come and they sit there. They don't come and engage in conversation. I don't know why why that is. It's a question. But LinkedIn is something professional network. I have a lot of friends there, so I do work on that profile and on the go there and meet some of the groups and all that. And I do come live audio. You know, sometimes I don't do it myself. I do come with some friends. Uh, Corporate culture is something I'm very familiar because I ran my clinic as corporate, and the other thing is I was involved in advising several companies, especially the servant leadership of lately. I was teaching people who are bosses, who are egotistical too, how can they be servant leadership for their own health and the for the health of the employees there. So I will be happy to share all that with you, Anderson. That will be wonderful. Yeah. I will
Oh, I
follow
love
you.
that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating because just the other day I was talking to Georgette. We didn't specifically use the words servant leadership,
Yeah.
but we talked about how can you be a leader
Yeah.
in the 8 dimensions of your life.
Yeah.
And it's
That's true.
so fascinating because a lot of people are followers. A lot of people will rather follow somebody else's diet plan
Hmm.
and and then be a leader in their life. Like
Yeah.
ask the question, like, what is it that my body needs
Yeah.
for movement, for food, for sleep? So I love this idea of servant leadership because you can
Yeah.
apply that to all the 8 dimensions of wellness. How can
Yeah.
you be a leader in
I I
spirituality,
I
right?
teach that as a course for the corporate leaders, you know, and then
Absolutely.
not only for their health but also the health of the company and really turning around the profit and productivity too, because you have more people uh, having say talk about something called ever renewing energy. So the energy that's not spent, that's not burnt during the day, but kind of renewed certain processes. So we'll talk about that. I will be happy to come to your room. Let me know when we can meet, and I will come there, and then we will have a. You can arrange that interview. A lot of people do interviews with me, so I have no problem. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and
Right.
thank you for the work that you do, Dr. Rao. I
Yeah.
know that you're somebody who practices what you preach, and
Yeah.
I've been in rooms before where you talked about your practice of micro yoga.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think everybody should practice some form of micro yoga.
Yeah, you know,
Thank you so much.
this morning, my wife came and told me that she has some back pull, and so immediately I showed her what's called Asvasanchalana Asana. So that's something you do that, you know, and she by afternoon she's gone. That pain is gone, you know. That kind of focusing on what is bothering us safely and doing it steadily will improve a lot of things. So that doesn't need any medications, anything like that. And she was suppose she has hurt her bone or no, that's different, but she just pulled the muscle because the snow was there, she was clearing the snow, and that's why she pulled that back a little bit, and immediately it's gone after I showed her. So that kind of value is there with these practices, you know. I usually am happy to share, Anderson. If they get some relief, I'm much more happy. That's my reward, you know. So
I love that for you. I
yeah.
love that for you. I'm gonna jump and
Yeah.
go out to dinner, but it was such a wonderful time connecting with you
Yeah.
today.
Sure.
I feel like sometimes the smaller rooms are best because you can get really deep and into intimate conversations.
Yeah.
But thank you for the work that you do.
Yeah.
It's so honored to be in your presence, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to when you and I can do this. Maybe on LinkedIn Live one of
Yeah.
these days. So
Yeah.
I will reach out to you on LinkedIn. Maybe
Yeah.
we can set up some time
Yeah.
where we can continue to share this. But
Yeah.
keep me posted on the app.
Okay.
And if there is any way that I can support you, I would
I will.
love to.
I will. I will. Learn. Thanks for being here. I'm also going to go now because it's almost time for me to do something. I will see you again. Okay. Tomorrow again, I will come back in the evening, and I'll be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Bye. Okay, everybody, and LinkedIn also. LinkedIn. We'll end it here. Okay, and the stream here.